Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mountain View Soap. I am so excited for today's soap. If you don't know me, my name is Hannah. I am the head soaper and the founder of Mountain View Soap. Today we are going to be making a caramel coffee soap for the February release. This soap will be available on February 6th at 3 p.m. Eastern if you'd like to get your hands on it. I have been molding and making these adorable little mini caramels and coffee beans out of soap. I'm super excited to decorate and put everything on this, but first we have to make the base. We are going to be doing an in the pot swirl today, mainly because I don't have a hanger tool, so I can't do a hanger swirl. I would have loved to do that for this soap. In this bowl I have my base oils and a little bit of coconut milk. I'm going to blend this up really quickly before I put the lye in, and then we are going to get soaping. You'll notice that I decided to put coconut milk in this batch, and the reason why I decided to do that was mainly because you have to have milk with coffee. So basically what I did was I substituted a little bit of my lye water for some of the coconut milk, and then I also have a custom fragrance blend of an espresso and a caramel coffee fragrance, which I'm really excited. It smells really good. And then we are going to do 3 different colors. This fragrance oil is going to discolor to a very, very dark brown due to the amount of vanillin in it. So that being said, the main part of the batch is going to be brown, and then we're going to have a little bit of a lighter color and a white as well for kind of like a cream mixture. And now I'm just going to mix this up to a light trace, and then we will separate everything out and get pouring. So before I pour off that, I'm going to take a little bit of the batter and pour it in a separate container so that we can have some white that won't discolor, because if I put the fragrance oil in this whole entire batch, then basically what would happen is everything would turn really dark brown and you wouldn't really be able to tell very much the difference between the two. Basically what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to split that half into the cup that I have the fragrance oil in after I pour it all into this guy. And then once I do that, we can start blending up all of the additional colors. There will be a very small amount of fragrance left in here because I'm not going to clean it before I change anything or pour anything in there, but that's fine because this side of the batch is going to be brown anyway, or a little bit of a darker brown or lighter brown than the main part, but it's still going to be brown, so it's not going to be as big of a deal. And I've made this issue in the past where I've put way too much in for in the pot swirl, and then it ends up being like too much of one color, too much of all the colors, so I'm gonna try to prevent doing that this time, hopefully, if I can. I think that one will be okay though. So I'm just gonna mix this fragrance oil in by hand to start. You can see it's already kind of starting to discolor because of the color of the fragrance oil itself. Again, this is a custom blend that I made. It was the first custom blend that I've ever made, so I'm pretty excited about it, but it does smell really, really good. And then what I'll do after, you may be able to hear my kitten meowing. What I'm going to do after is just quickly blend all of these up with their respective colors and then pour into the molds. This will be the first official soap that I make on camera full with frosting, so I'm really excited. We'll come back and do that later, if not tomorrow, depends on how much time we have. And I know it doesn't look like it right now, but this main batch and this main bowl is going to actually discolor to a very, very deep brown. And then as all in the pot swirls go, we're just gonna go ahead and pour this baby in. I would eventually like to start doing drop swirls again, but I feel like I did so many of those in the October release that I'm a little drop swirled out. But it would have made a really pretty soap if I would have been able to have that hanger tool. So far so good, and it doesn't matter what the top looks like for this because we are going to be putting a nice bit of soap frosting on top and decorating it, so it doesn't even matter. But overall, this actually worked really well. I've gotten a lot better at being patient and waiting for all of this stuff to kind of calm down and cool down, I should say, because before I would just make all of my stuff and then want a soap like ASAP. So those are the bases of our two coffee soaps. I am going to let these guys set up a little bit and then probably pop them in the freezer for a little while, and then I will be back to make the soap frosting, pipe the soap frosting, and do all of that fun jazzy stuff. Hey everyone, voiceover Hannah here, coming to you from the future because I lost audio and of course because I forgot the coffee grounds. I just decided to sprinkle some on the top because I wanted to add some sort of coffee into the coffee soap, and because I didn't add any actual coffee in this one, I wanted to make sure the grounds are incorporated a little bit. You'll also notice that this is not deep brown like I've been saying in the editing of this video so far. It turned orange and it scared the crap out of me One of the fragrance oils had a very high vanillin content, but I didn't realize that it was actually going to discolor to orange instead of brown. Thankfully though, the second fragrance oil that I added in the custom blend did turn brown, so I will show you a photo at the end of what the actual soap looks like once it has been cured. So what I have in my bag here is some soap frosting. I added a few of the coffee grounds in here as well, just to keep that coffee theme. I actually really like the way it looks. It kind of reminds me of like a real authentic vanilla bean type situation with whipped cream and stuff like that. But everything on this soap is all soap. I hand molded the caramels and I hand molded the coffee beans. So I'm gonna really quickly speed up this process so you can see how cool it looks, and then I will be back to explain the rest. The next bit of the process that you're going to see is me adding on the soap dough caramels and the soap dough coffee beans. This first one that I did to like do a quick voiceover for you didn't actually end up being the best out of the two loaves. The one I'm going to show you after, which is just going to be a sped up version of the entire process, is a little bit better, but I started adding these guys on and then I remembered that I needed to use a ruler. It was my first time soaping in about a month, so things are coming back to me as the time kind of went on. And I used some tweezers as well to kind of move things into place, because the way that I cut it, I actually have a 18 bar cutter that I use, which you'll see when we go to cutting this bar, or this loaf rather. And basically I have to make sure everything's aligned so none of the soap embeds get cut off. Not always possible, but that's why everything is kind of very handmade. Sometimes it's a little more rustic. Some pieces are missing here and there, but that's all part of the fun. Every single bar of soap that I make is different from all of the rest, even if I do make them in a loaf like this. So basically, I'm adding on, like I said, the soap dough caramels, the soap dough coffee beans, and then I also have that caramel drizzle, which I showed you at the beginning, and all that is olive oil and a little bit of mica. And basically what happens is as the soap cures, it actually soaks up that olive oil, and it will just leave the mica on top in a really pretty drizzle-like form. So I'm going to speed up the rest of this process, so again, you can see how pretty it is, and I'll be back for the cut. Here's a very quickly sped up version of the second loaf that I did, and then I'll show you guys a close-up. I forgot to mention that I did put some coffee grounds on top of the soap as well, which if you already saw my posts on either Facebook or Instagram, then you know that I put them on top because I shared a little sneak peek. But this is going to be the last little clip before I go ahead and show you guys what the cut looks like. This is what these loaves look like when they are completely finished. I am so excited with the way they turned out. I'm not going to keep you much longer though. Let's get cutting, seeing the inside, and seeing what the final cured bar looks like. This is it, the moment that we have been waiting for, the moment that I always wait for whenever I watch a soap making video, the final cut. This is my 18-inch bar cutter from Nurture Soap. I got it as a gift from my mom. Thank you, Mom. And it ensures that all of my bars are pretty much cut the same thickness. So I have this bar cutter set to 1-inch thickness, and I personally like it. If you ever think that any of the bars that you get from me are a little too big, or from any other soaper, you can always cut them in half. This is what it looks like on the inside. I really love the swirl. I love the top. The way this soap came out is brilliant, and I love it. It's perfect the way that I wanted it. I'm going to show you a real quick look at what it looks like when it's cured right at the end. Basically, what I'm doing now is just transferring all of these bars over to another little platform where they go to cure for the first few days, and then I put them in plastic bins that have holes in them so that they can cure for their 4-week period. Because I'm making 100% cold processed soap, it all has to cure for at least 4 weeks before I can sell it. So there's a lot of love and a lot of waiting time and a lot of everything that goes into these bars of soap. So I'm really glad that you guys all like them. I love the way that these tops came out. I love the way that the base looks. And I'm just really overall super excited. The bar smells so amazing. And all of you coffee lovers are really gonna like this one. I am going to let you guys go and have a great rest of your Monday if you're watching this as soon as I put it out on YouTube. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to me. More videos are going to be coming. I am so excited because the next one is going to be a full voiceover of my kind of island beach inspired soap. You guys will see that soon. And then I have another coffee soap coming, and a honey bee inspired soap as well, where 5% of the proceeds are going to be going to a foundation / charity, which I'm really excited to be supporting this month, or rather next month. If you would like to get your hands on this soap, you can on February 6th at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a Saturday, so mark your calendars. And you can also feel free to follow us on social media. I will link all of that stuff below. Check out the website if you'd like to. And you can hop on our VIP list as well. I will see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your week.